F2O.
Right here? This right here is like a swig of tequila, son.
Might be strong.
This that fire water.
You know, I just saw something that really bothered me, man. Like, not too much, but it was about like Hillary Clinton making a tour in America to try to regain the trust of the people to the government, you know, and I think that's a bunch of garbage. You know, it's like how you gonna talk to me about all the stuff that that you guys have done in the past 10 years alone, just starting with 9/11 to now, and you want to talk about putting trust in the government. If you want trust in the government, then you can undo NDAA. You can undo that. Where he was supposed to close Guantanamo Bay and then didn't close it, for whatever reason. But not only did he not close it, he left it open so that he could, put Americans in there through the NDAA, which states that anybody they call a terrorist, they can lock them up indefinitely without parole, without even law representation, which is totally unconstitutional, but yet it still stands, but you want to put trust in the government. You want the people to put trust, back into the government. Y'all spend more money, on military, efforts and placing bases around the world, and you put more money inside prisons than you do inside these kids. Me being from Newark and stuff, we got, Mark Zuckerberg, giving the schools like what, 500 million, $500 million, something crazy like that, and not 1 cent. You don't see not 1 cent going to Newark schools, and you want us to put trust inside the government. Miss Clinton, there's nothing that you could say, that could really make me put trust inside of this government. It's what you do that makes me decide whether or not I put trust in the government or not. And you want me to put trust inside the government, you could start, by repealing NDAA. You could start by giving the people back their gold that Nixon stole in the 60s and put the gold behind the dollar and stop eating away at the dollar. Y'all gonna drive us into World War III because y'all keep paying for oil with dollars instead of gold. And now, the other countries don't even want to take, the dollars for the oil or whatever else y'all buying them for. And y'all killing the worth and the value of our economy. And you want us to put trust, inside the government. How can we trust that? How can we trust y'all when it's okay, y'all don't make an outcry, a public outcry, as our government officials and our representatives, by avenging, Trayvon Martin's death. He was shot by a grown man, in the streets, and y'all don't do anything about that. Y'all just, leave it up to the state and say that, it's a state-run issue, it's a state issue. If injustice and things were state-run issues and not federal issues, first of all, what do we even need y'all for as a federal government if y'all not even going to keep the states in check? That's A. B, the daggone Emancipation Proclamation was a federal decision. It wasn't a state-run decision. And y'all want us to put trust inside the government. But daggone between COINTELPRO and what happened with the Oliver North scandal, y'all ended up releasing crack into the streets. With COINTELPRO, y'all was killing black men, as a federal government, killing black men and women in the streets, because of the Black Panthers, because they decided to take advantage of the Constitution and arm themselves as their rights. And then you release drugs into the streets and get our people, strung out on drugs. And then, 20, 30 years later, you release crack into the streets? And then the gangs spread as a worldwide epidemic, and it's funded by the United States of America. Our tax dollars are funding that stuff. But we can't get education. Like, how is it that, I got to pay y'all, I got to go into debt just for y'all to tell me some information that I need just so I can get a job? That's messed up. If you want to gain the trust of the American people, then reverse that. Pick any one of those, reverse that. How about the fact that I had it and I just lost it? But you could start there. You could start there. There's many stuff on and on and on it goes. Like our vets, you know, they go across to fight a war, looking for Osama bin Laden, who's quote unquote dead, and they ain't even back home. And when they come home, they can't get a job. Y'all don't even pick up the bill in their houses. Like, how come y'all can't pay their mortgages off? They are heroes. They get shot at day in, day out. For what? Osama bin Laden is dead. Why are we still at war in Afghanistan? Why? There's no excuse. There's no reason. There's no reason. And then y'all take the prayer out of schools. Like, we can't pray in schools no more. First of all, you know, dude go over there to daggone Saudi Arabia and he talk about how this isn't a Christian nation. Okay, this nation was started on Christian principles. I understand and totally get that there are people here who live here that are not Christian. I totally understand that. But let the daggone Prime Minister of Israel go to that same Saudi Arabia nation and say, you know, this is not a Hebrew nation. Or you wouldn't find, you know, the Prime Minister or the Shah of Iran, of Saudi Arabia, of anywhere saying that they're not a Muslim nation. Why we got to be the ones that bend? They stronger in their faith than we are in ours. And this was started on Christian principles. And then y'all take away the right from even people to protest in your presence. That's crazy. Crazy. It's just crazy. And you want to regain our trust. You want to regain our trust. You know, and then y'all allow, not even allow, but just the media itself is ridiculous. We just got junk flying on the screen of ridiculous. Just last night, we watching daggone Miley Cyrus, who was supposed to be a role model to our little girls. And she grow up, and this is the stuff that she do in front of everybody with a married man. That's messed up. And I don't blame Miley. I blame this culture that we have. I blame us getting away from Jesus. That's what I blame. That's what I blame. That's the problem. Miss Clinton, if you want to do something about this, you got to reverse that stuff. You want us to trust you, you got to trust the government. You got to reverse that stuff. I know you're setting up for another presidential run. Cool, whatever. But put that stuff into effect. You help put Obama in office, who I voted for, thinking that he was going to do something for people. But he's done nothing for us. Come on, all the stuff I just named, not all of it, but I mean between NDAA and this other crazy acronym I can't remember right now, where we can't even protest in your presence. Come on, I mean, you step back on Trayvon, you just shake your head about it like, you know, he could have been me, could have been my son. And that's all you say? You don't hold the state of Florida accountable for that? You don't go after George Zimmerman? You don't do anything behind that? You don't have the most powerful man in the world can't do anything about what happens in Florida? And you want us to put our trust in you? Come on, you can't talk this away. You can't just, you know, wipe this away. You know, evil only happens when good people sit aside and do nothing. And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is Fire Jaws, and I'm out. I done had my time. I'm out.